Ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court today made some very important observations and also has issued notices to OTT platforms like Netflix, Alt Balaji, and others as well. And there are some social media platforms including Google and Meta. The notices of these social media giants, those who are part and parcel of our daily lives, is over a plea seeking regulation of and ban on explicit content. Because remember, largely these OTT platforms like Netflix and others, they do not adhere to the same regulations of the censorship or the censor board like the movies and other releases in the country. So for violence and for other explicit content, there is a plea which has been put across, which says that absence of rule leads to sharing of explicit material. Because many of these are not age regulated, or even if they are age regulated, there is no guarantee of who's watching, then becomes a problem. Seek central authority to monitor online content. This has been an ongoing, at least a debate, when it comes to between censorship and freedom of expression as far as the filmmakers and these platforms are concerned. The plea also says that child pornography is being shared through these platforms, may increase crime rate and harm social values, so on and so forth. But the fact remains, ladies and gentlemen, that these shows or the films which are being made, they at least put out a certification of who should watch it and who, in fact, it is suitable for. Now, the petition's significant concerns are emphasizing the need for action, and many now see this as a precursor to government moving in with some sort of regulation as far as these contents are concerned. Let me go across at this moment to my colleague Nupur Dogra, who's bringing us more details on this big story.
Well, this particular petition, came up in the top court complaining that there are several platforms, including OTT platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Ulu app, and in fact, social media platforms, including Meta's Instagram and Facebook. They display several obscene content, which includes pornographic material, and they are in fact accessible to everyone, though even if there is a disclaimer on them that this content is made for 18 plus audience. Despite that, children right now have huge access to them because of social media platforms like Instagram and Meta. And the Supreme Court also in fact expressed concern about this content. However, Justice B.R. Gavai, while hearing this petition, asked the center and in fact reiterated his earlier stance that it is the executive's job. It is the legislature's job to bring in regulation for such content online. It is the judge said that of course the presence of such content is concerning, but would it not then the judiciary is already being blamed for stepping into executive and judicial and legislature's avenue or domain. However, SG Tushar Mehta, appearing on behalf of Center, said that of course he also raised apprehension that there are concerning materials online, and he said that this will not be treated as an adversarial intervention from the top court, and he in fact urged the top court to hear the petition. And after taking this submission from Solicitor General Tushar Mehta on record, the Supreme Court has today issued notices to these OTT platforms, including Netflix, Meta, Google, Amazon Prime, Alt Balaji, and other such apps where it has been found where the petitioner has complained that they have some obscene content, which including child pornography and other pornographic stuff, which is now openly available in their trailers, their premieres on social media apps that are run by Meta. So it has in fact raised a genuine concern. The top court also expressed concern about regulating this content. The center has also expressed concern about regulating this concern, and center has told the court that already some regulations are there, but they are also contemplating for bringing in further regulations to regulate such kind of content on OTT platforms. Now, it will be important to see that how this hearing turns up when it comes up next for hearing.
Right, Nupu, thank you for joining us with all those details. So is this the precursor for another round of censorship, as many critique would call it? They very clearly mention who is it suitable, whatever content that you're consuming, what is the age group it is suitable for? Or should we just, let the government decide what people should be watching or not? Joining me at this moment, Mr. Rahul Eshwar. He's an activist who is joining us at this moment. He has, in fact, also led a few campaigns, on issues regarding us as such. And also, we are being joined at this moment is Shahzad Khan, actor. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. Rahul, let me ask you this. I mean, why should the government decide what I watch? These OTT platforms, whatever content that they create, they very clearly label it, whether it is suitable for adults or over 16 years or over 13 years or 11 years and so on and so forth. As a parent, as somebody who may be bothered whether children have access to all this or not, you have the option of parental control. Why make it a national issue about it?
Please remember, that's a classic liberal argument which may sound good, but which will not run good in the real life. For example, there are websites that's easily available in India called RapeTube, that shows, vulgar and rape pictures. Child pornography is easily available. There are more extreme forms which I cannot even tell, that is available. So shouldn't we have some kind of a control? Nobody is saying that, you have to be the Aloknath, Sanskari person. But at the same point of time, some line has to be drawn somewhere, right? But some Lakshmana Rekhas are always there.
Sure.
And I'm a person.
But Rahul, can I, sorry, because you were making this argument that all these are available. But there are already remedies within the law which are available for them. If there is child pornography being shown, then you can register an FIR and that person or that site or whatever is showing that pornographic content will be blocked, will be arrested. So why take it out on these content providers?
But please remember, the law many times doesn't have a teeth. For example, right now I'm speaking in UAE. There are many pornographic materials that is absolutely not available in net. See, we have to have a nuanced debate in this. We have to, categorize erotica as different and pornography as different. The hardcore, extreme pornographic material are freely available. That will psychologically damage our children. Please don't think, I am the Harichandra or I am the Sri Rama or I am the, holier than thou person. But having said that, I am a person who gave the first complaint against Ranveer Ahlabadia. There are some lines that we have to limit. I'm not being the Sanskari Aloknath, but at the same point of time, you cannot have a free for all.
But you are then saying that there are certain extreme cases, hence ban everything, ban whatever Netflix is showing,
have some kind
that
of
kind of content also. Hold on. Let me get in Mr. Shahzad Khan on this as well. Mr. Khan, Rahul is saying that freedom of expression of the artist and the makers, sure, but it comes with reasonable restrictions.
Thank you very much for having me on your show. I totally agree with you that OTT means over the top, but there should be certain restrictions on it, which the children don't have the accessibility to, and there should be no interference from any government, saying that you can watch this, you cannot watch this. Okay, there should be censorship. Like in the films, they have a censor board. The same way, they should have an OTT censor board, which should censor whatever they're going to release on the OTT. And I think that should be more than enough for it.
Are you suggesting that the censor board should also be involved in the releases for the OTT content as well?
I think so. If they're involved in the films, then why not in the OTT content? That will end all this hullabaloo about it. Because they're getting so much of money.
But how does it make a sense? Like Netflix or Amazon or every other platform does give you the option, if you have a child at home, you can choose the child profile and you can restrict what the child watches. Bad parenting cannot be an example, or at least if the parents do not have the time, that can't be an excuse for others to consume the content that the world is watching.
See, what I'm seeing around is that more than Netflix or Amazon or all these renowned OTT channels, there is more vulgarity on Instagram. The amount of vulgarity which is there on Instagram, I think it beats all these Netflix and Amazon and all these apps, all these OTT platforms. The maximum I see, they're showing girls the way they're walking, the way they're dressing,
Yes.
And it's kind of a prostitution which is going on through Instagram and through this X thread and all whatever these. I'm not
Rahul,
very.
where does this tirade end? Because like Mr. Khan is saying, it's true that, you are talking about OTT platforms, but there are, like in the case of Ranveer Allabadia and what happened with India's Got Latent, people were questioning, it's just one program, one platform. Look at the easy accessibility on Instagram, Facebook, this, that, and others, on Twitter, of all these kind of pornographic or objectionable content, which is not even age restricted.
Absolutely. And that's the reason why, whether it is Instagram or any other content, we need to hire our community standards. There are some standards we should definitely adhere to. Nobody is saying that, we should close our eyes and no sexuality should be there. But at the same point of time, the amount of perversion, just go through Instagram. Like sir said, we can easily know. Just go through, X and type some words, you will know. So there needs to be some kind of a limit. And please remember,
but
OTT
there are two different things we are talking about, aren't we? Are we confusing it? We are talking about two different things. Somebody, promoting porn or any other kind of objectionable material on Instagram or any other, social media platform is different from, let's say, a Netflix releasing a film which is a German movie, which comes with reasonable warnings about what that movie will have, what is the age appropriation for that movie. Why should they both be mixed?
But can we have OTT anarchy? The real question is, can we have an anarchy in the OTT world? There should be some kind of regulation. You have to draw a Lakshmana Rekha somewhere. You can.
But why? You need to decide what you want to watch, Rahul. If your children are exposed to that, that means that you are. That's the question on you, not on the platform.
No, the government should do. The civil society should do. You and me should do. The media should do.
Agree. You and I should decide. I agree. You and I should decide what we watch and what we expose our children to. Not the government coming in and saying that, we will decide what you should watch and what should be exposed.
See, government is people, right? At the end of the day, government is people. And please remember, some kind of rule and regulation needs to be there. That's the reason why in UAE, there is some kind of authority which decides. In many nations,
Sir,
for example, in Australia, in England, there are authorities.
I respect your point of view. I respect both of you for your point of view. But let's not compare our country to any other country. When you start talking about UAE, then there, of course, there will be many different things that country does or does not, which would be acceptable in our own country with our own values and the way our democracy runs. But thank you so much, gentlemen. It's a very important debate that people need to have. We need to talk about, all these issues, because it just can't be a brush stroke saying everything and these are the rules and you can only show this and not show that. In an evolving globalized society, we need to be exposed to all kind of content which is coming in from everywhere. But yes, regulations need to be on what your children are exposed. And I think the responsibility first starts with the parents at home rather than the government sitting outside.